one definitely has 392 gears. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going over a 2021 Ram 1500 Laramie Sport. We're kind of doing this more for the Sport package. This one just happens to be a Laramie. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the truck. Check out the inventory in the link below. Let's get right into the video. Now under the hood, we have the naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. And this one has the e-torque system, just like always. If it's got that little box, it has the e-torque. Now let's go over the front end on the Laramie Sport. So they have added the Sport hood back to the package. So you get the venting here. You've got the 1500 e-torque Hemi badging right there on the side. It's all chrome here with the Sport package. And then you can see for the lights, since this is Laramie, it's got the LED lights as standard. The badging's still chrome on the front, but notice that the grille is body colored, and then you've got like black inserts on the grille, so it looks a bit sportier. The front bumper is also body colored. That's also part of the Sport package. Normal fog lights, parking sensors that come with the Laramie as well. But the biggest thing with the Sport is the hood, and then everything is pretty much body colored. Now coming around the side here, we've got 275mm tires and 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then again with the Sport package, it comes with the chrome wheels as standard equipment. Kind of goes with all of the chrome badging on the truck. And then if you guys are wondering, this one has the regular coil over suspension. The way to tell is looking at the suspension, there's not the little air canister inside of it. And then you've got body painted fender flares here on the outside. Again, chrome Ram badging right there. And then you've got the chrome Sport logo there on the back. And we're actually going to pop to the other side so you guys can see the full side profile of the truck. Notice the mirror is also body painted as well, but here is your whole side view on the Sport. Let's pop into the back here. So this one has a normal bed, so it's a 5'7" bed for the size. No LED bed lights or anything like that, and does not have the new cargo camera system, so it has a regular cargo light. I get asked this all the time, you can add a bed liner in. After the fact, it's super easy to add bed liner. It's usually about $300 to $500 depending on the place you get it done through. And so yeah, you can add a bed liner to the truck even if it doesn't have it from the factory like this one. Now let's go over the rear again. You've got the little Sport logo there on the side, and then full LED lights that come standard with the Laramie package. Obviously you got the regular badging here. Towing capacity with the e-torque is just over 11,000 pounds if you have a 392 axle ratio with the truck. Chrome exhaust tips on the back end as well. And speaking of the exhaust tips, let's get a little bit of a startup here. Now let's take a look at the door panel here in the rear. So you get this soft touch with the stitching all in the Laramie, then black trim with the Sport, and then you got suede insert right there. And then coming to the seats, same story here with the black leather, and then you've got the suede inserts with the white contrasted stitching. A little bit rougher here on the center part for the leather itself. You got the piping along the seat. Ice buckets because this is a crew cab. And then picking this up, you can see you've got some storage underneath the seat. And this one has the reclining seat. The way to tell is this little thing right here. If it's got that, it's the reclining seats. And then you can see over here, you've got some cup holders at the top with more of the black trim. And then you got a couple of USBs and then a full power outlet with some vents there in the rear. And then this one does have the little center console thing. If you guys are wondering about room, let's pop in quickly. So step in height without side steps isn't terrible, but I always recommend them. I'm about 5'11", maybe if I didn't slouch so much, but you guys can see my headroom. And then if you guys are wondering on legroom, pretty solid as well. Let's go over the door panel here at the front. So again, got all the soft touch with stitching all throughout in the suede inserts. Again, your memory seats. This one does have the regular mirrors, so power folding with that functionality, and then they do have blind spot monitoring, and obviously you can see my reflection in the mirror. Hello. But anyways, all of your regular window controls. And then here at the seats, you can see you've got the piping on it. It says Laramie again with the suede inserts on the seats here in the front. And then you can see down there, you've got little adjustments on the seats. And then here is your pedal layout at the bottom. And then you can see you've got the brake, the pedal adjustments, and then light control right here. That's the fog light. That is the cargo light. And there's one more look before we quickly pop in. Here's a quick look at the steering wheel of the Laramie. So full leather around the steering wheel. It's all smooth to the touch, and then they do black stitching on the inside of that. And this one just has the regular cruise control, the gear selector. You've got the voice command phone controls, and then you got the controls to the center stack. Radio controls on the back. That's little stock for the windshield wipers. Other than that, you guys have seen the steering wheel a million times, so there it is. And here in the center stack, we can see you've got RPMs on the left side, you got speed over on the right side, and then you got little center screen. And they really haven't changed much with this screen for 21. The only thing I noticed that is different on the trucks is you got the little off-road page now, whereas with the 20s, I don't remember that being on the truck, so they just kind of borrowed that from Jeep's tech. And then if this one does have the heads-up display, then there is an adjustment for that, but this one doesn't have the heads-up display. Now here is a quick look at the whole like center stack, but let's quickly go into the drive mode area first. So you have the little shifter right here, and yes, still got the dial shifter, nothing's changed with that. But you got the driveline selects, you got your two-wheel drive, four-wheel auto, four-wheel high, four-wheel low, true neutral, and then your auto stop start as well. The Laramie and the Bighorn that have the sport package, they have four-wheel auto. If they've got four-wheel drive, it's a neat little feature with the trucks. Now for the screen, obviously if you pop it into reverse, you can see the backup camera will pop up on the Laramie, and then there is a zoom function. This one doesn't have the 360 camera system, so pretty simple on that. Now you can see the screen still has like the split screen function, like we can turn on our ventilated seat, for example, because it's a little bit toasty outside. You can go to your backup camera as well, and then you can just pull up the climate tab, so it's like the full side. But notice that there's climate controls on either side of the screen as well, so you can do it through the screen or you can do it with the controls, whichever you prefer. And then here with the rest of the center, you can see response time still pretty solid on it. Nothing too crazy. They haven't really added too much to the screen since 2020, so it's pretty much all the same. And then again, hazard lights at the top, and then down below you've got your parking sensors, your tow haul mode, stability control, and then your trailer brake controls. Now here's the whole center console area. You can see that most of this looks pretty similar to what it has been with the center console. Still get this that slides back and forth, but notice where the USB location is, and then where you can put your phones, and then you get a little full power outlet, and then yes, you still get the tray, all that kind of stuff. And well, it's got the keys to a limited in it. I wonder what we're gonna be doing with that. But anyways, coming over to the glove box, you can see again, this is unchanged. And notice it says Laramie on it. You've got the stitching and all that kind of stuff. And just, yeah, here's kind of like a look at the interior part. Now up top, we've got the power sliding window. And this one does not have a sunroof, but you got the tailgate drop down button. You can get a full panoramic as an option on the Laramies. And then you've got your universal garage door openers. And then again, like I said, this one doesn't have the new camera mirror system. Now that we're done going over the interior, let's quickly get into pricing. So in terms of pricing on this Laramie Sport, it stickers for about $59,000 before any type of market adjustment with the equipment and packages it has. That all being said, let's take this Laramie Sport out and see how it drives. Now let's talk about visibility here in the Laramie Sport before we set off. So you can see visibility over the hood's pretty good, and it's cool to see the little Sport hood, and you can even see the badge there on the side. There's your visibility through these mirrors, which again, this is pretty solid with the mirrors. You got little convex mirror in them. And then here's the visibility all throughout the rest of the rear. So just like any other 1500, it's solid. And let's set off. Now we are setting off here in the Laramie 1500 Sport, and first off, let's actually just talk about how this truck rides with the standard coilover suspension, because I believe pretty much all the trucks I have reviewed so far for 2021 have had the air suspension. So comparing the two to each other, the air suspension's slightly smoother, but it's not by much. These both feel exceptionally smooth, and compared to other trucks in the market, it's pretty much the smoothest and the quietest from just the noise coming into the cabin. Then obviously the ride quality, it's just really, really good. Definitely feels like a luxury vehicle. Like Ram has done an exceptional job at that, not only with the interior feeling very high scale, but also the ride quality and the noise insulation just makes this truck, again, have that luxury feel on road. And the next thing obviously is with the handling. So for the 2019 model year, you guys remember they kind of pushed the engine back a little bit further compared to the previous generation, and the handling on this truck is really good for a 1500 series truck. Like, this truck doesn't feel big and heavy. It actually feels pretty easy to maneuver for how big this truck actually is, which definitely is a nice little touch on the vehicle. And coming up here, you guys can see the brakes. yeah, stopping power on the truck is really good, which is gonna be important when you are towing with it. Something that's new for 2021 is kind of like an eco mode on the truck. So when you are in a little bit of a higher gear and you're just like very lightly going into the throttle, then it'll go into eco mode automatically. You guys probably saw that pop up on the gauge cluster a couple times here. You can see right there below the little gas light, it says eco, and that just means that you're in the kind of like good fuel economy mode with the truck. And as always, let's get our little acceleration here with the 1500 to see how it goes with this e-torque. Ooh, that one definitely has 392 gears. You can always tell because you get a little bit of tire spin right there, but 5.7 Hemi's strong, and you guys got to remember, I'm at about 4,500 feet elevation, and the engine still feels really strong even at this higher elevation. And so just as an engine, it's definitely very, very solid, and that'll actually get me into summing things up with this Laramie Sport package. So I feel like the Canadians got like the better end of things with the Sport package, because in Canada, when you get a Sport, everything's like all blacked out and actually looks sporty, whereas in the US you have to get a different package other than Night Edition or like a black appearance package. You get everything blacked out. And so yeah, it's kind of weird. The Sport package, I think it's just almost redundant in a way, but I get why they're doing it. I just wish that like the badges were all blacked out. I mean, you guys can let me know in your opinion, but I think that having like everything body painted and sporty looking, but then having chrome badges, it looks a little bit weird. I think that it should be just blacked out badges with the package, and then you can still have the Night Edition with like the blacked out grille, right? It still looks a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, Ram does whatever they want to do. That's my opinion. Still a great truck. This is a good truck to like lift, but you just kind of have to take into account the chrome accenting and either black out the badges yourself, or you have to pick out chrome elements to kind of go with the overall theme of the truck. That is going to sum things up for our video on the 2021 Ram 1500 Sport. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy for providing us with the truck. Check out their inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in the next video.